Oh, yeah?
Fascinating, sir.
I like it. Wow, full color glossy. Wow, you're making the buffalo look bad here.
Yeah.
Wow, who's got this?
Well, good. And I'm just Neil Wilson.
Capacity to print like that, huh?
No, okay. G-E-N-E-A-L. Wilson at Yahoo.com. I'm sending this to me. I hope my...
What business donated their printer for this?
At Yahoo.com.
Yeah, the big staff lot was donated by BYU.
Okay, thanks. Oh, thank you.
You're a transcelestial king.
There you go.
Oh, Michael's last name.
Do what?
Oh, the biker? No, I never heard of that.
You ready?
I'm ready. Yeah, we're ready.
Bob lights, those who are behind the trees, please feel free to spread out. There's lots of shade and lots of space. Welcome to the Antelope Grove, all of you. We're excited to have you all here. First of all, I want to say thank you to all of you. This has been a really enlightening and a wonderful day for me personally. I think everybody has done an excellent job. Give yourselves a big hand.
Woo!
Awesome. So today we as the Antelope Patrol are going to be talking about maintaining excitement in scouting. We have noticed that Cub Scouts are truly excited. I have a 6-year-old son who's just going into tigers. Yes, I truly am an adult partner to a tiger cub. They're very excited to become a scout. As they move into Boy Scouts, they're still quite excited. But as things progress, that excitement tends to dwindle. So we would like to talk today about how to maintain that excitement in scouting. So I'm going to turn the time over to Tim, and he's going to get us started.
Thanks, Brad. When we were visiting about what we do, Brad Harris came over to us, and we were talking about what we had learned about that start, stop, and continue. And Brad said, well, gosh, you have 800 kids you can call into your office and have them take that survey. We didn't do that, but we did do a survey with some things. And it was interesting that the deacons, the deacon age boys were just, and the survey said, we want to continue camping. We want to continue camping. It was just a complete theme. They wanted to keep camping. One of the things they said they wanted to see stop was kids who are loud and disrespectful and cause trouble. So that's something for you to consider. As we got to the older boys, one of the things we learned is they want to keep camping. It was amazing. The same thing. We want to go camping, but they put it under start. So in their mind, that was something they weren't doing anymore. And it was time to start camping. And so I put that out to you for consideration. And what they said to stop doing was planning on going camping. It was written over and over from many kids, and I talked to them. I had them do it at school. The older kids want to stop planning, and they want to start camping. So we put that out for you. And there's a lot of more different things that we can cover here, but I think often we try and go for these things that are way out there and difficult to do. And there's all kinds of things already put into place in the program right there for you to take and to maintain that excitement if you'll just do it. But sometimes we're so worried on trying to get to these things that are so hard or so difficult that we never get to it. And so we want to talk about the easy way to get at some things and some things that are in place with our programs. Nathan. How many of you are Cub Scouts?
I have been.
How many of you have had Cub Scouts? How many of you are Cub leaders? I saw most hands go up. You know that the Cub Scouts are these huge spirits crammed into these little bitty bodies. They have energy. They have enthusiasm. That's why they're all constantly squirrel. You know, they're always distracted. They want to tell you about their bike. They want to tell you about what they got for their birthday present. They want to be involved. They want attention. They want to have things to do. And I served as a Cub master just after I was married, and despite my thoughts of, oh man, I'm going to have to do skits, I'm going to have to do the cheers, oh man, they're enthusiastic. Their enthusiasm, it spreads. And I could get motivated just by being around them. And even though the prep time beforehand could be not as exciting going into it, just once they were around, it was so much easier. They wanted it. You could feel it. And one of the things that I discovered very fast, and that was just as a cub master, I imagine den leaders have it even more so, is that you're outnumbered. If you have more than 2 boys and you've got 2 deep leadership, you're outnumbered and you need help. BSA has provided a means for you to get help, so you don't have to run out there and try jumping and creating something. Try to drag your wife in because, you know, she's got plenty of time. Ha ha ha. Den chiefs. The den chiefs are scouts who are older. They were recently Cub Scouts. They know the program. They went through it, and they're still young enough that the Cub Scouts don't go, that old person's helping me? Because as soon as you hit, 19, you're an old person. Simple fact. The interesting thing, though, that I discovered as I was doing research on den chiefs was that a Cub Master actually has to request them. It isn't something that just happens. I imagine there are a whole bunch of Cub Scout Masters here who have boys without callings, without positions, that need a responsibility to show leadership. Den chief, wolf den, bear den, Weeblo's den. There's 3 more leadership positions for your boys. One thing that I found conflicting information on was that they need to be at least first class rank. Do your own research. I had conflicting info. But the key things for the den chiefs is they just need to know the program. And more often than not, they were there. And as long as the den leader is willing to take a few minutes of time to talk about what's going on in advance, the den chief can be right there, helping out, curbing the excess enthusiasm in some places, and helping out as appropriate. And it's an opportunity for older boys to feel that same enthusiasm that those Cub Scouts are experiencing and be rejuvenated. And that's one opportunity that we have to increase the enthusiasm with our boys.
Think back to when you were 11 years old. I turned 11 in December. And in that January, February, immediately following my birthday, I went to my first Klondike Derby. It was just a day. We went up Saturday morning. But we played with the Scouts and we got to do all the fun activities. And the thing that really sticks out in my mind of that activity is the Scouts couldn't light a fire. They couldn't get us fired to stay lit in the snow. So my 11-year-old Scout leader took us home, and in his front yard, he allowed us to burn holes in his lawn while he taught us how to keep a fire going in the snow. Now, I'm talking today about how to help these younger Scouts, the 11-year-olds in particular. I had a lot of respect for those older boys as an 11-year-old. You look up to those kids that are older than you. They're your peers. They're your examples. What would have happened if it had been a 13-year-old teaching me how to start that fire? I have great memories of that Scout leader, but I would love to have had a great relationship with somebody who had already been through all of the things that I was going to go through over the next year, who has already had his first class. Maybe he was a star or a light. Maybe he's the one who could come down to my patrol and help me, or help my patrol leader. Of course, I'm talking about somebody that we're all very familiar with because of this week, and that's the troop guide. The troop guide is somebody who is typically still a Scout. He's probably 13 years old. He's coming down to the 11-year-old patrol to help those boys get to the first class. As I was doing my research, I came across a website called the Boy Scout Trail. It's a very great website. It goes all the way from Cub Scouts all the way through even adult leader stuff. But the Scoutmaster who runs that has a thick, thick manual for his troop guides. And that guide is the one who teaches that 11-year-old patrol how to get to first class. He's responsible for the lessons. It's all laid out for him. But he is the one who teaches. It's not the Scoutmaster who's there teaching the boy how to keep a fire lit and burning holes in the lawn. It's the 13-year-old. So take advantage of that opportunity, you 11-year-old scout leaders and you CORs and you scoutmasters. Get that 13-year-old boy who knows what he's doing, who can come to a board of review and quote the Scout Oath and the Scout Law and can tie a square knot. Get that boy in there to teach those 11-year-olds the ropes.
Gotta hurry. We're running out of time. As Tim mentioned, we decided to survey some boys. And so I took just a moment and surveyed some boys. Not surprisingly, they said pretty much the same thing. First thing out of their mouth, you know, what do you like about scouting and camping, outdoors? And then I asked them about their experience in scouting, you know, some of their most memorable experiences. And three of these boys told me it was their experience at Timberline, what our council refers to as the National Youth Training. And then I had an aha moment when I asked, you know, how many of the boys in our ward had been to Timberline. And we started to name some of those boys and then realized that of those boys that attended Timberline that were now venture age, they're also the very same boys that are still participating very actively every week in the venturing program. And I just wanted to take just a second here. I grabbed a Timberline manual, and I do want to just do a shout out for Sir Dirk, who guided some of my boys through Timberline. I appreciate that. Where are you? Somewhere. But anyway, in the leadership skills section of the Timberline manual, I want to quickly just read over some of the table of contents. Communicating well, team vision, setting your goals, preparing your plans, Scout's own service, developing your team, solving problems, the leading edge, teaching edge, operating the extract GPS, resolving conflicts, making ethical decisions, leading yourself, valuing others, personal conference goals, personal vision, communicating well. A lot of these should sound very familiar to us here at Wood Badge today. And as you reflect upon how committed you are now to scouting, think about the commitment that our young men will have when they walk away from a Timberline. They're going to be committed to scouting throughout varsity and venture.
Yeah, I need to correct Kevin. We have all the time we want since we're the last patrol. Right, Scoutmaster? Or patrol leader? Who likes Skittles? Who likes venturing? Woo! Venturing's great. I've only been called in to this position maybe a month ago, and I'm pumped. I'm excited. And being up here and learning from Steve and the experiences that he's had have been great. I'm just going to put it out there, what is the first program you should instill in these ventures? What's that?
VLSC or ILSC?
Okay. VLSC. What does it stand for? Someone else.
Venturing Leadership Skills course.
All right. Who said that? All right. What is Venturing Leadership Skills course? What do they do? What's that? Great answer.
Back at the hill.
How do you know that?
So there's so many nights we did it with our boys.
Who leads out? Who leads out in that skill course?
Summer thing, or what is it?
It's a one-night ordeal.
One night, okay.
You want to explain a little bit more, Bishop? Go ahead, sure. All right. Someone else want to explain it? Get some Skittles. Randy? All right.
I don't care if I get any Skittles, but the VLSC, I think, is 9 different modules.
Yes.
It's 9 different modules, starting with vision. They learn, and then they have a reflection, and it's designed to be done either over a weekend or on mutual nights. And the boys teach it. We've done it in our ward with the young men and the young women. So it teaches basic leadership principles similar to Wood Badge.
There's 4 main categories that they teach: vision, communication, organization, and synergism.
Which is a word.
Who teaches these modules?
They do.
Correct.
I just wanted some Skittles.
All right. After VLSC, what is that in preparation of? And for our troop, or for our crew, it's next summer. What's that? All right, Kodiak. What happens on a Kodiak? Okay, they implement what they've learned. What else?
There's more modules.
Is it a one-night deal? Week-long.
Trek.
Okay. Week-long trek. There's more modules that they learn at night while they're there, and that helps prepare them for what? What's the next thing after Kodiak? Kodiak X. Who said that? All right. I'll work my way up there.
It was in my house.
Kodiak X is an overnighter run by who? Who runs Kodiak X?
District.
Council.
Council. I wasn't there. They didn't invite me.
And your crew has to have gone through a Kodiak experience in order to be eligible to participate in Kodiak X.
He wants more Skittles.
He wants more Skittles.
I know he does.
I'm good.
So the real question, why? Why do we do all this?
So we don't lose our kids.
Okay, we don't lose our kids. We keep interest like we've been talking. As I've learned about this program and read about it and talked to people that have started it and done it, my testimony of the venturing program is strong. And we barely started. But that night that we spent doing the VLSC, those boys ran the program. Those boys taught us. We truly did sit back and let them do it. And there wasn't much training from us beforehand. We gave them the assignment, read this and teach it. And they did it. And they did a great job. And anyway, I just want to leave you with that. Those that are venture leaders, learn about the program and run it. And you'll see your boys stay interested.
Wanted to talk just real briefly about two other opportunities. One is Order of the Arrow, which is the National Scout Honor Society. It's great, provides a great opportunity for scouts who are above average to interact with leaders and with other scouts that are like-minded through elections and tap-outs and ordeals. They learn service and brotherhood, and it's a great organization to help your young men stay active in scouting. And the last one we wanted to mention is one that our troop guide, as well as I've done before, and that's I like to climb, and so I recommend doing Climb On. Take your young men, take your venturers climbing, get them to be proficient at belaying and setting up anchors and the things they need to do, and then invite the young women to go with them and have them teach the young women how to rock climb. And eventually you'll be participating in day dates with your venturers and with your priests. It's a great time. So anyway.
I'm lucky I get to conclude this entire event. And this has been a great day, as I said at the beginning. We hope as the Antelope Patrol that we've been able to convey to you a few things that we feel will enable you to help keep that excitement alive, all the way from Cub Scouts right through their mission. Scouting is a great thing. All of us here are here because we have a testimony of scouting. We have a testimony that scouting prepares great men. And those of us who have been scouting, and I count myself as one, have been blessed because of the experience, because of great leaders, and because of our fellowship with other boys. I hope that we can take what we've learned here from each other today and from the staff here at Wood Badge and apply that to our own units and our own responsibilities, and that we can keep that scouting alive. One last thing, the last bit of scouting is outing, so let's keep the outing in scouting. Thank you.